Hi and welcome along to AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that keeps you up to date with players that have been linked with a January transfer move to Arsenal. I am absolutely knackered today after that long drive home from Manchester last night after suffering a 1-0 defeat in the FA Cup, going out of the FA Cup. Disappointing, but do you know what, right? I have to say, you've got to remember we made 6 changes in the game. And there was nothing in it. It just turned on a little lapse of concentration by Arsenal and a bit of quality by Nathan Ake, and they got over the line 1-0. But I'll tell you, it fills me with a lot of confidence going forward for the 2 clashes that we're going to have against Manchester City. The first one at the Emirates and the second one at the Etihad. Honestly, there's nothing between the 2 teams. They played everybody. They had Haaland out there. They had De Bruyne. They put the full works out. And really, with our second team, we carried much more of a threat in the first half. They were a bit more better than us in the second half, but there was nothing in that game. And those games coming up are going to be huge, and I can't wait. And got to touch on one of our new signings who really impressed me last night, and that was Leandro Trossard. I thought he was really, really lively, looked good. Had a great shot on goal. I was really, really impressed with him. And he looks to me like he's going to be a really, really good signing. A lot of the people I was speaking to after the game saying the same thing, that they was really, really impressed with Trossard. So well done. That's a really good signing. But who's coming next? Yesterday, after the game, as I was about to start interviewing fans and talking to fans after the game, this fan come over to me and said, "Robbie, have you seen this?" and showed me his phone. I'm like, what? Moises Caicedo is trying to force a move away from Brighton. Look what he's done. Look at this statement that he's issued. It's virtually like handing in a transfer request. Now I'm going to read exactly what he said in that statement. He said, and he posted it on his Instagram, he said, "I'm grateful to Mr. Bloom," that's the owner of Brighton, and Brighton for giving me the chance to come to the Premier League, and I feel that I've always done my best for them. I always play football with a smile and with heart. I am the youngest of 10 siblings from a poor upbringing in Santo Domingo in Ecuador. My dream always to be the most decorated player in the history of Ecuador. I am proud to be able to bring in a record transfer fee for Brighton, which would allow them to reinvest and to help the club to continue to be successful. The fans have taken me into their hearts, and they will always be in my heart. So I hope they understand why I want to take up this magnificent opportunity." And of that opportunity, of course, is Arsenal yesterday tabled a bid of £60 million to buy Caicedo from Brighton, which was immediately rejected. He is trying to force through a move to Arsenal. Now, one of the things I could tell Caicedo is that thing about, I hope the fans will always hold me in their heart at Brighton. I can tell him right now that they won't. This is going to go down very, very badly with Arsenal, not with Arsenal fans, with Brighton fans. It's also gone down very, very badly with the owner and the board at Brighton. They are very unhappy that he's trying to force this move. They don't want to sell him in this transfer window. We spoke the other day that Caicedo has got new agents. It looks like they are definitely behind this statement, and they are trying to get him up and out of the club. And Brighton are really, really upset about it. Now, Brighton play against Liverpool tomorrow in the FA Cup. And on yesterday's show, I said it's going to be interesting to see if Caicedo will be in the team to face Liverpool. Of course, the game is at Brighton. Of course, after issuing this statement, there's no way he can play. There's been different suggestions from different quarters. Some saying that Caicedo's refusing to play in that game because he wants to move. And others saying that Brighton have basically said to Caicedo, don't come to training because he hasn't trained today on Saturday ahead of that game against Liverpool. So don't come to training and don't even report back for anything. You don't come to the game and don't report back to Brighton until after the transfer window on February the 1st. Of course, the transfer window closes on the 31st of January. This is full-on war. You know, he is trying to force a move out of Brighton. Brighton are trying to dig their heels in, and this now is full-on war with the player. Also reports today that Arsenal have upped their bid, said to be 65 million. That's not going to suffice. As I said, Brighton, they're looking for a mega transfer fee. You know, there's been suggestions that 80 million could get it done. There's been suggestions that they want 100 million. It's an absolute mess. But what do Brighton do? It's going to be down to Brighton Football Club. What happens with Caicedo? And could Chelsea come back in? That's the other fear. Remember, Chelsea made a bid of £55 million for Caicedo, which was turned down. Could they try and return back to try and sign him? Which then, again, it makes it, you know, gives the advantage to Brighton because they can keep upping the price. And again, Arsenal start to get into a bidding war with Chelsea, something that the Arsenal board have specifically said they are not entertaining any bidding wars. So this one is going to be the big one that rolls on till the end of the transfer window, which closes on Tuesday, the 31st of January at 11 o'clock. It's huge. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't think anybody apart from the board members at Brighton know what the future is for Caicedo. Caicedo has tried to force the move. It's down to them now. Do they sell him or do they dig their heels in and say, you ain't going nowhere and you will stay till the summer and we don't care? But then what's the point of that? This is the thing in football. Once a player's come out and done what Caicedo's done, what's the point in holding him against his will till the summer? What's that going to do to the dressing room, the atmosphere? How are the fans going to react to Caicedo now that he's forced his move? I know there was a similar situation with Harry Kane at Tottenham where he sort of came out and said he wanted to go. The fans turned on him a little bit, but I think because of the amount of time that he's been at the club and, you know, I think as well for the fact that he'd given Tottenham a lot of service, and there was even some fans sort of saying, listen, fair play to him, man. He wants to go and win trophies. In the case of Caicedo, it's a bit different. There's going to be fans saying, you're ungrateful. You've only been with us about a year. We need you right now. We're doing very well, Brighton, at the moment. We need you. But what sort of player are you going to get if you don't let him go? You're just going to get a player that's just unhappy. I mean, listen, something's got to give in this. As I said, it's going to be down to Brighton. Arsenal pushing hard for this. And remember, we got the news yesterday, well, we saw yesterday in the game when Thomas Partey came off at half-time. Basically, that changed the game as well. Partey is a vital cog in that Arsenal team. You saw the levels drop off when Sambi Lokonga came in. And listen, I think some of the criticism of Sambi Lokonga has been over the top. But there's a big drop-off between him and Thomas Partey, and you saw that in the second half. We were controlling the game in the first half with Partey's on the pitch. As a matter of fact, we've not lost the game this season when Thomas Partey's playing, and he came off with an injury. They're supposed to be doing an MRI scan on it today. I was actually sat behind the bench at yesterday's game, and I saw when he sort of came over and he was sort of, you know, showing them his side and just saying like he feels a bit uncomfortable there. Obviously, they're not going to take any chances with it. But if we lose Thomas Partey for any length of time and we don't have an adequate replacement, our title hopes could go up in smoke. That's how serious it is. Caicedo would be the perfect replacement. He can replace two positions. He can replace Partey. He can replace Xhaka if need be as well. He's that good. He can play across both positions. So what are Arsenal going to do? And on Sambi Lokonga, as I said, lots of criticism yesterday. Came on, I didn't think, listen, he wasn't terrible, but there was that big incident in the game where he was way out of position and the captain, Martin Odegaard, turned around and berated him and said, you know, why were you way out of position? Get back, right? It just doesn't seem to know how to play that defensive midfielder role. After the game as well, annoyed a lot of fans because he just went straight down the tunnel, probably annoyed at what Odegaard had said to him. That didn't go down well. All the other players went over and clapped the fans. 8,000 of them who were brilliant last night in good voice. Didn't go down well. What for the future of Sambi Lokonga. We know that Monaco want to take him on loan. Monaco's even offered at 8 million euros to buy him, which was immediately knocked back. We paid nearly 20 million for him. But I think he would benefit for a loan, but they're not going to send him out on loan until they know they've got to say a Caicedo in. So it's going to be very intriguing. And also, if they can't get Caicedo, do Arsenal go for a plan B? Is there a plan B out there, like a bit like with the Mudryk thing where they end up going for Trossard? Is there a plan B that they're going to focus upon? Could that be a Zubimendi, for instance? It's going to be interesting from now till the end of the transfer window. But the big news today, Caicedo's on strike. Is he going to get to come and join Arsenal? I mean, listen, there's so many strikes at the moment in this country. He may as well join them, you know what I mean? Join all the nurses and all the rail workers and that. He's out on strike with them as well. Listen, thanks for watching the show. Don't forget to check out all of our fan cams from last night's game. As I said, you know, we can take a lot of pride, even in defeat from that game yesterday. But looking forward to the big one against Man City. But check out all of our fan cams and don't forget to subscribe here at AFTV. Thanks for watching and I'll see you tomorrow.
Shop for AFTV merch at shop.aftv.co.uk. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Snapchat and Twitch. We've got content for every platform, so check it out.